You know that feeling, right? You solve a math problem, you're sure you've got it, but you still don't get full marks. It's so frustrating. Well, today, we're going to change that. We're going to tackle a GCSE probability question, but here's the twist. We're not just finding the answer. Nope. We're going to put on our examiner hats and figure out exactly what they're looking for to give out those top marks.
I mean, knowing the math is only half the battle, isn't it? The other half is presenting it in just the right way. And that's our mission today. We are going to map out the perfect path, the one that guarantees every single mark.
All right, let's dive right in. Here's the challenge we're taking on today. It's question 16 from a higher tier paper.
So, have a look at this. We've got orange sweets, a white sweet, Sarah's eating them, but pay close attention to that last sentence. Show that. This is a game changer. The answer is literally given to us. Our job isn't to find some mystery number, it's to build a rock-solid, logical argument that proves how we get to that answer.
Okay, so before we even touch a calculator or write down a fraction, what's the first rule of tackling any math problem? You've got to break it down. Let's pull this question apart and see what we're really working with.
So we've got n orange sweets, one white one, for a total of n plus 1. Sierra takes 2. But here's the absolute key, she eats them. They are not replaced. That one little detail changes everything. It means after she takes the first sweet, it's gone. Poof. So when she reaches in for the second one, the whole situation is different. Understanding this is literally the key that unlocks this entire problem.
All right, let's start building our perfect full mark answer. The first thing we need to aim for, and this comes straight from the official mark scheme, is what's called the method mark.
So what is this method mark, or M1? Think of it like this. It's you telling the examiner, hey, I know what I'm doing. I understand the right way to start this. It's so important because even if you make a silly mistake later on, getting this M1 proves you understood the fundamental process. So, let's break it down. First things first, what's the probability of that very first sweet being orange?
Well, it's pretty straightforward, right? It's just the number of orange sweets you want, divided by the total number of sweets that are actually in the bag.
Which gives us n over n plus 1. And get this, here's our first little secret from the mark scheme. Just writing down this single fraction, that's it. That's enough to get you the first method mark. Boom, you're on the board. You've shown the examiner you're on the right path.
Okay, so far so good. Syra has taken one orange sweet and it's gone. Now she's going in for a second one. What's different now? How has the situation changed?
This is where that not replaced detail really kicks in. Because one orange sweet is gone, there aren't n orange sweets anymore. There are n minus 1. And the total number of sweets isn't n plus 1 anymore either. It's just n.
So the probability for the second sweet is n minus 1 all over n. And here's another cool thing from the mark scheme. You could have written this fraction down first or the other one. Either one of them on its own is enough to bag that first M1 mark. Pretty good, right?
Okay, so we've got our two individual probabilities. We have the pieces of the puzzle, now it's time to put them together and go for the next mark.
And that next one is the accuracy mark, or A1. Now this one is linked to the first mark. You can only get the A1 if you've already shown a correct method. It basically confirms that you're not just starting right, but you're also doing the next step correctly.
So think about what the question is asking. We need the probability of the first sweet being orange and the second sweet being orange. And whenever you hear that word "and" in probability, it's like a big flashing sign that says multiply.
So we take our first fraction and we multiply it by our second fraction. And there you have it. This expression right here is exactly what the examiner is looking for. Writing this down proves you've applied the method correctly, and that's what earns you the A1 mark. 2 marks down.
We're so close now. We've done the hard part. We've set up the correct expression. All we have to do now is a tiny bit of algebra to simplify it and show that it's exactly what the question told us it would be.
Okay, so let's look at what we've got. We're multiplying these two things together. And you'll notice something really nice. There's an n on the top of the first fraction and an n on the bottom of the second one. What does that mean? They cancel each other out. It's super satisfying. And just like that, what are we left with? N minus 1 on the top and n plus 1 on the bottom. And would you look at that, it's the exact answer we were told to show. We've done it. By following that clean, logical process, finding the first probability, finding the second, and then multiplying them, we've created the perfect proof that gets you full marks every time. So there you have it. That's the blueprint for securing every single mark on a question like this.
But hey, before you go, here's a little something to think about. What if Syra didn't eat the sweet? What if she put it back in the bag before picking the second one? How would that change everything? What would the answer be then? Let that one simmer for a bit. Thanks for watching.